Hey there, welcome to the YouTube channel of Department of Chemistry, IIT Bombay. This is Aarti and I am a PhD student in the Department of Chemistry. I am here to discuss some of the topics in physical chemistry that are sometimes found to be difficult to grasp. We are doing this in association with the OLI team NSS IIT Bombay. To start with, the first topic that I am going to discuss today is the second law of thermodynamics, and my focus will be on the most famous flaw in it, that is the Maxwell's demon. Let's start with the conventional definitions of the second law of thermodynamics that we have been studying from our high schools. The first one is no process is possible in which the sole result is the absorption of heat from a reservoir and its complete conversion into work. That means you cannot find any process where the complete transfer of heat to work is taking place. There will always be some loss of heat that is going on in the process. The second definition is in an isolated system, the entropy cannot decrease when spontaneous change occurs. That is, in an isolated system, when a spontaneous process is going on, the entropy will always increase. And by the way, the entropy is the measure of degree of randomness. That when I say entropy is increasing, that means the randomness of that system is increasing. The third definition, which is rather similar to the second definition, the entropy of the universe is always increasing. So here the isolated system is our universe. The definition says that randomness of our universe is always increasing, or the nature likes to go into a more random state than it is at this moment, right? The fourth definition is heat can never flow from a colder to a warmer body without some other change connected therewith occurring at the same time. So this definition says that the heat will always flow from a warmer to a colder body when some other change is not occurring in the system simultaneously, right? With these definitions, I'll be showing you some examples where we can clearly see the second law around us. So let's go for the videos that I have made at home to show the second law. In the video on the left hand side of the screen, I have taken a glass of water in an electric kettle to boil. So the water is already boiling. That's why I have poured it in a glass to use it somewhere, let's say for the drinking purpose. Now, when I went on to take the water, when I touched it, it felt too hot to be taken in hands, right? So I kept the water for a few minutes, and then what I observed is that the water has now the lower temperature than it was few minutes before. So why was it too obvious to me that if I'll put the water for some time, the temperature will be lowered down? Is it obvious to you people also? If yes, why is it so? Yes, it is because of the second law of thermodynamics, which says that heat will always flow from a warmer to a colder body. So here the warmer body is our boiling water whose temperature is 100 degrees Celsius, and the colder body is our environment. Let's say the room temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. So the heat will transfer from the water from the environment, and it will get on transferred until the equilibrium is attained, right? Now in the second video on the right hand side of the screen, you can see that I am mixing a teaspoon of sugar in my coffee. But have you ever imagined to get the process reverse, that can I take out sugar from the coffee in this crystal form? If your intuition says no, why is it so? Yes, it is also because of the second law of thermodynamics that we cannot reverse the process. As in the reverse process, we can see that the sugar crystals are forming. That means the sugar is coming in a more ordered state than it was in the mixed state with the coffee, right? So in that way the randomness of the system is decreasing, and hence the entropy of the system is decreasing. That will violate the second law. That's why the reverse process is not possible. Yeah, so I have shown you two videos that you encounter every day, but you might have not connected it to the second law, and you can find millions of such examples around you. But have you ever thought of some example where the second law is violated? If not, try thinking about such examples. One such examples that we are going to discuss today has bluffed scientists for almost 100 years. No one could answer the question whether the second law is violated in that example or not. So let's go for that. In 1869, James Clerk Maxwell gave a thought experiment where he considered two boxes which were filled with the gaseous molecules that I am showing here with red and blue spheres. The red spheres are showing the gaseous particles which are moving with much higher speed than the blue particles, as it is also shown pictorially. And in the system there is a daemon which has the full control on the window, which is between the two boxes A and B. So this daemon is not evil here, it's just that it has the command on this window. So what does this daemon do here is, let's say a blue particle comes close to the window, then it will open the window and move the particle to box A. In the same way, when it encounters the red particle, it moves that particle to box B. In this way, the situation of the system after some time will be as shown on the screen. All the slower moving particles will be gathered in box A, and all the fast moving particles will be gathered in box B. So what one can observe here is that the system has come in a more ordered state, or in a less random state, as all the similar particles has gathered in box B, and all similar kind of particles have been gathered in box A. So here the randomness of the system decreases, and hence the entropy, and that violates the second law, because there have been no work done on the system, and still the system is decreasing the entropy. And in terms of getting output from the system, the temperature difference is created between box A and box B, so we can extract and useful work from the system without giving any input to the system. And by the way, the window is also frictionless, so there have been no work done on this window also. That means we are creating a system where we don't have to give any input, but we are getting output from it. What has happened here, that we have already discussed, the temperature of one of the boxes increased and others is decreased without doing any work on the system, and hence the second law is violated here. And this discussion went on for almost 100 years until the solution came out. So we'll be discuss about those discussions about this thought experiment. In 1929, Leo Szilard, he pointed out that while measuring whether the particle is slowly moving or is moving with a faster speed, the demon uses some means, and in that act he must be using some energy, and hence the second law was not violated. But in 1960 again, Rolf Landor, he argued that while measuring the process, this entropy won't be increasing as long as the process is reversible. But erasing memory will cause an increase in entropy. So the memory he's feeding, at some time he has to erase that memory, and while erasing that the entropy will increase. In 1982, Charles Bennett, he formally showed that howsoever prepared and howsoever big memory the demon has, he has to delete it, and in that process the entropy will increase. During the discussion, what we have learnt is we forgot to consider the demon as a part of the system, and its memory that is playing a crucial role in saving the second law of thermodynamics here. So it is the memory of the system that is recognizing whether the particle is fast moving or slowly moving, and hence deleting its memory increases the entropy of the system, and hence the second law of thermodynamics is not violated. With this, I am leaving you with some open questions you can think about. First one is how the refrigerator is working if second law of thermodynamics is valid. So in a refrigerator, you can observe that inside the refrigerator the gas keeps on cooling, and it keeps on emitting heat to the outside environment, which is already warmer than the temperature inside the refrigerator. How is that possible if second law is valid? Yeah. And the second question is, if nature likes randomness, why our bodies are in a perfect shape? We have perfect hands and legs and everything. How is that possible if our nature like randomness so much? The third question is entropy responsible for the forward flow of time? You can think about all these questions until we meet next time. For that timing, thank you so much. Bye bye.